Hey guys, Ben V here. So I've had four dry fasts now. I'm on my currently on my fourth. I had a test done for a whole bunch of stuff, a list of bacteria, parasites, who knows what else, and everything came back clear, including the C.Diff. So I don't know exactly what has fixed it. I can't. I have to be honest and say I don't know precisely what it was. All I can say is that I did do the five FMTs. This was delivered by Anima, by myself, about 3 weeks ago now. So I did them, nothing changed at all for a couple of weeks. But then I started dry fasting and I've done four. So it's been 4 weeks since I started dry fasting. Actually, let me check the date. Yeah, so 23 days since the first FMT that I did, and I've done four dry fasts. I think similar time frames. So it's been about 3 weeks for each. So it's about a week ago now. I did, I think 4 days or so of mega dosing probiotics. So I figured that an FMT, it's largely just such a high dose of bacteria that it works, and probably in a natural form, in forms that we haven't synthesized. So I thought these, 10, 20, 30, 40 billion is just not enough. So I was mega dosing in the amount of for half a trillion, 500 billion. I felt really shitty while I was doing it, but I wanted to see what would happen. Nothing really happened straight away. And then in the last maybe week or so, maybe a bit less, the diarrhea has become a hell of a lot less. So it's maybe every couple of days, every day I get it, but it's not like it was, which was for 6 months all day constantly. So the other symptoms are still there, the bloating, massive bloating, but I'm not as nauseous, very mild, and a lot of the pains that were worrying me in my back, in my chest, in my stomach, in my groin area, legs and stuff, they've kind of gone as well. So it's still there, but just a little bit. So I don't know. A lot of the symptoms are there, but the diarrhea is sort of gone. So this may suggest that the C. diff is actually healed. It's just left behind a lot of damage, or whatever damage has occurred is still there. It's difficult for me to know exactly what fixed it. I'd like to say it was me. I'd like to say it was the dry fasting, but I can't be sure. So, it seems unlikely that an FMT would work weeks later after it was administered. You'd think it would work straight away, or at least a couple of days. So maybe it was the high dose probiotics, maybe it was a combination of all three, who knows. But at least that's one stress that I have less. But I mean, a lot of the issues, everything else is still there. So I'm going to keep going with the dry fasting. Really, at this point, it seems like the only answer to fix and cure all the other issues at a deep level. So I've been doing a dry fast a week. I did two last weekend because I ended up breaking it. I did like I think a 36 hour one, something like that. And then every other weekend I've been doing 36 to 40 hour ones. I did a 48 as well. This weekend I'm aiming for 40, but I'll do more if I feel good, or just depending on what goes on. I'm just building this up slowly. My fasting muscle isn't as strong as it was because it's been so many years. I find yeah, it's when I'm feeling good in the fast, it's easy. One of them I did, I felt so terrible, and it showed me that going into a fast, you have to be really careful, because I drunk coffee and stuff like that, and it just messed me up. The fast was just way more difficult, and I broke it. But then I ate and drank and then started another one, and it was fine. So it just teaches me that you have to live a pretty clean life to make fasting possible and easier. So that's what I've been doing ever since. So let's see how this one goes. I hope I can get the fasts up pretty high. Like I want to start doing 3 days every 2 weeks soon. Then I'll bump that up to 5, 7 days once a month. Then I'll try to bump that up to 7 to 14 days once every 2 months. Fasting with Trevor says nothing's healed until you get around. Well, not most things are healed up around the 14-day, 15-day mark. The the Russian literature says not to do more than 11 days. Most things are healed then. But I do trust Trevor. And yeah, so that's the goal. I'm going to keep going. And I'll let you know if anything changes. Cheers, guys.